Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we have a different kind of Angel Legion video today. We're going to be discussing the meta relevance of a hero in the game called Dragon Knight. If you don't know Dragon Knight, she is a very common hero that you'll probably see a lot of people building, and she has a strange place in the meta, which we'll be discussing a little bit more in depth. But basically, let's say some people really like her, some people really don't like her, and we're going to be discussing whether it's actually worth it for you to go ahead and build her, and what you should consider before you go ahead and grab her for your team. Also, I want to let you guys know that there's some new codes out. It is June now, so we have a new code for this month. So let me read you out the code. I have it down here on my phone. It is JU76Y33. I'll put that down below in the description. Also, I'll put the link that you need to follow to go enter your Angel Legion account information in the description as well. So if you go into the description, click that link, enter your account information as well as the code, which is in the description, you will be able to get yourselves some free rewards for your account. So whether you're a new player or you're an established player, you can go ahead and get some stuff, which is pretty decent. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and do that. Also, let me remind you that today's video is sponsored by the developers of this game. So if you want to see it and check it out, why don't you go ahead and get it for free on the iOS App Store, or for Android users, you can get it on the Google Play Store. So go ahead, give it a download, try it out, and hopefully you'll have some fun. Anyway, let's go talk about Dragon Knight, and also, whilst we're at it, a few changes that have been added to the game. So, quick little thing, there's a new update for the game, which if you haven't already, you can go ahead and download, and wow, can we just appreciate for a moment the new artwork for Deadly Shadow. I really like it. I know the devs are going through slowly giving everyone enhanced artworks like Valkyrie has, Arcane Scholar, Filial Spirit, and I know they want to do it with a lot more of the popular heroes, so it's awesome to see that Deadly Shadow has been given a brand new artwork, which I just think looks absolutely incredible. And they've also added a feature where you could share the design of your personal heroes with other people. So if you didn't know, in this game you can fully customize the look of a hero. It doesn't affect their stats or anything, it is just your way of expressing yourself through your heroes. But what's really cool is you can go ahead to your hero's design now and click on the share button, and you can generate hero data, which you can then give to someone else, and they'll be able to make their heroes look just like yours. So pretty cool thing you can do. Or maybe you have multiple accounts and you want to transfer how a hero looks across. That's something you can use there. It's a really nice addition to the game, which means we can have a lot more community and inclusiveness with people sharing their hero data and you know, changing and adding more different faces to the game, and obviously customizing things and working together to make stuff they like. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, today's topic is going to be Dragon Knight. So we need to go ahead and grab her and talk about her, because she is a really interesting hero that I give a really hard time. So we're going to go ahead and bring up her skills and just discuss what actually makes Dragon Knight work. So the first thing that really brings Dragon Knight to the forefront of usability and viability is her active skills. So when she's got full points of energy, she goes ahead and deals 200% of attack damage to all enemies. And this is the really important thing. It hits everybody, and once you enhance her all the way up to level 130, there's an 80% silence chance on her attack. Now, silence is a CC in the game which forces you to only do basic attacks. It doesn't matter how much energy you have, you are forced into a basic. Now, this is a really good ability because it's basically crowd control. And Dragon Knight is the only hero in the game that hits all opponents with a crowd control effect. So when people are deciding on what heroes to add to their team, Dragon Knight is often up there as a top contender. As well, she's not a combo hero with Maya, so it doesn't matter whether you are or aren't using a particular artifact, Dragon Knight is going to function just as well. It just hits everybody and has a chance to silence. Also, if you compare her to other heroes that have crowd control effects, you will see, oh my goodness, I just spotted the Raging Angels change. Whoa, okay, that's an awesome artwork as well. Sorry for getting distracted. But yeah, if you haven't seen heroes like Deadly Shadow, these also have crowd control effects. But if you look, the specifics of this effect is based on when you crit. Because, for example, this active skill says nothing about crowd control. It's just, oh, you'll do a critical hit to someone. But it's this here that's crucial. When the combo skill, so it has to be the combo, deals critical hit, it stuns an enemy for 1 round. And the stun chance goes all the way up to 100%. So reading that, you'll be like, wow, that's 100% stun chance. That's just better than, you know, than Dragon Knight's silence. Well, technically, there's lots of ways around this, and we don't really talk about it too much. If you take a look at my Deadly Shadow, for example, she's got crit resistance 50% on an elf. And that's something we like to do because Deadly Shadows are a very common hero for people to have in slot 1 as their lead to go ahead and put you in a stunned condition. So to prevent the stun, just don't let the crit happen. So we've got 50% crit resistance on her straight up from the elf. In addition, I've got her armor giving her crit resistance. So all in all, she's walking around with 56 crit resistance just from how I've built her, along with 50% crit resistance, which she gets from the elf, which means she's coming in at 106 crit resistance, which means she just doesn't even get crit on. Now, that's a very, 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 very potent way of building a Deadly Shadow, so she doesn't get countered by other Deadly Shadows. But let's suppose everybody does that with their Deadly Shadow. Then we're in a situation where no Deadly Shadows are going to crit. So you can look at alternatives such as Time Guardian. Time Guardian also has a chance to stun. So let's go look at her skills. Well, it specifically says there's a 30% chance to stun the enemies you hit for 1 round. Okie dokie, that's good to know. But if you do it with a scythe, it suddenly becomes a 40% chance to stun. Okay, but 40% against 3 people, because that's what the front line's going to be, you know, it's okay, but it's not incredible. But then, of course, over here we have an additional stun chance of 20%. Okay, that takes us to 60%. And then this here says when it's a crit, you get an additional 40%. So add all those components together, suddenly it's a 100% stun chance. But that final 40% still depends on a critical hit. Now, this means that crit resistance still is going to protect you on the majorities of cases against Time Guardian, because it takes the 100% chance to stun down to 60% chance to stun. So again, even though we herald Time Guardian as a phenomenal hero, she still can be stopped by a cleverly built team. And again, she only hits the front line. So right there, we've just looked at 2 of the best stun heroes in the game, Time Guardian and Deadly Shadow. They both only stun the line of opponents they're hitting, and in addition, they depend on crit. Well, Dragon Knight doesn't have that same requirement. Dragon Knight is straight up, all enemies, 80% chance to silence. No other requirements. The attack just has to go out. So, bit interesting. In addition, she gains armor. Reduces the damage received by normals attacks all the way up to 40%. So she's just rocking 40% damage resistance, which makes her a great frontline hero to take a lot of hits. And each attack increases her own damage resistance. So every time she attacks, she's getting additional damage resistance. And this is a 6% boost each time. So she is just stacking and stacking. I mean, it's only 2 stacks you can do as a maximum, but it can become 3 if you get to level 90. So 3 stacks of 6%, still 18% damage resistance. That makes Dragon Knight really, really tanky. So what we have is a tank and CC hero. Good. So what we have is a tank and controlling hero because we can silence and take a lot of hits. So why do I give Dragon Knight such a hard time? Well, maybe it's because she's not a combo hero. Well, actually, funnily enough, a lot of people don't realize, but if you go to the palace, combo heroes give better bonuses. So if you are using a non-combo hero on your team, that means you can actually have your combo heroes in the prey, which actually means you get even better bonuses. So actually Dragon Knight's going to give better benefits to your team because she's going to allow for you to have less combo heroes in your team, which means you can have more combo heroes as prey heroes. So technically it's better to have a Dragon Knight on your team if you look at it that way. Interesting take. So what's so wrong with her? And it all comes down at the end of the day to talents. In the Overlord talent tree, there's an ability here that says silence resist plus 80%. So even though we've got a whopping chance to silence opponents on a Dragon Knight, opponents can just sit with Holy Word and just not be able to be silenced. 80% silence resistance. But it forces you to build into this. If you care about PvP or competitive styles of the game, you need to have Holy Word on all your heroes to stop you getting silenced by Dragon Knights. And I wonder if, because we say that, there are people that don't go and use Holy Word. Because their logic is, well, people won't use Dragon Knight because Holy Word exists, so why do I need to use Holy Word if people aren't using Dragon Knights? It's this chicken and egg situation. It's just endless loop. Now, we say you should always take Holy Word just in case someone tries to take advantage of people that aren't using it. And look, if you get silenced and you're not using Holy Word, it's entirely your own fault. But surely that same logic would make us say that Deadly Shadow and Time Guardian are bad, because as we said with Deadly Shadow, if you can go ahead and turn off crits by just running a good crit resistance build, and that stops Deadly Shadow critting you, well, surely that's going to make her a bad hero. In addition, Time Guardian, same thing works. You can take off 40% of the stun. Now, it doesn't fully remove the whole stun, but you can still take away 40% of the stun by giving your team some kind of crit resistance. So the logic that we've used to disparage people running Dragon Knight we are not applying to these heroes in the same way. So either our conclusion should be that both Deadly Shadow and Time Guardian are also pretty rough to use in PvP, or actually, maybe people should really consider Dragon Knight. And the reason I've thought about this is because I look at our PvP arena right now, and I've noticed there's a lot of people who are using Dragon Knights. And I've been saying for time immemorial, Dragon Knight sucks, don't make her. But here we have a team with a 360 Dragon Knight, which is top seeded in arena. And that also got me thinking, well, why is that? But actually, we think so much when we talk about heroes, about how they compare and perform in PvP. But there are PvE game modes. There are waves where you're fighting 6 opponents that all hit really hard, and if you get an active skill off against you, then you're going to lose your heroes. Being able to send a Dragon Knight in there and silence the opponents is still pretty darn good. And a lot of game modes, silence works, and it's good, and it's an effective strategy. And she's also really tanky, so she can take the hits if some do slip through the net. So maybe Dragon Knight, even though I give her a hard time as a PvP hero, should be someone to consider in every other game mode, because being able to stop opponents just straight out with a silence is still very, very useful. Now I know that in certain game modes, like the Battlefield, there are stages where there's only 3 opponents. And in that case, Deadly Shadow and Time Guardian are still fantastic because they stun everybody, because the whole team is just the front line. But as soon as you've got a front line and a back line, suddenly your Deadly Shadow or Time Guardian are only hitting half of the heroes, whereas Dragon Knight is able to hit everybody with a silence. And some people would argue that is what makes Dragon Knight better. So all this time we say Dragon Knight's not very good. But the only reason we've said that is because of Holy Word and because that makes her not so good in PvP. But we have to be realistic and realize actually a lot of people don't just play this game for PvP, they play it because there's all other game modes to enjoy. There's Battlefield, there's the campaign modes, and there's plenty more stuff to push as well, like the Endless Trial. So actually it's got me reconsidering whether to build a Dragon Knight or not. And that added bonus from the Prey, because she's not a combo hero, is also something that I didn't even consider when I first thought about her. So yeah, hopefully this has got your juices thinking. I just wanted to kind of lay out the pros and cons of Dragon Knight and not really come to a solid conclusion, but just present some information that may get you guys thinking as well, because maybe we've been too favorable towards Deadly Shadow and Time Guardian, and maybe not cast the same kind of light onto Dragon Knight that she's deserved. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and of course, have a great week, and happy idling, and don't forget to download Angel Legion. Trust me, it's a pretty fun game, and it's totally free.